So, you're probably a fairly considerate person. And as a fairly considerate person, I'm sure you do this courteous thing quite often. You're driving and you come to a stop in traffic, and there's someone waiting to turn out from a parking lot or side street beside you. It's up to you whether you let them in or not. But since you're already stopped, there's no real inconvenience letting them go ahead of you. Plus, not letting them in would make you kind of a jerk. So when traffic starts moving again, you don't go right away. You courteously let them in. And I mean, that's a pretty standard thing to do here. I feel like if I don't let that person in, I'm actively choosing to screw them over. At least, that's how I felt when I've been on the other side. Especially if I was waiting there before they pulled up. Now, I have to wait for the next stop in traffic, and for the next car to hopefully let me go ahead. In these cases, if someone doesn't let me in, I'm kind of just like, wow, okay. Now, I had a bit of a different situation occur recently. I came to a stop and there was a car waiting to turn out. And when traffic started up again, I waited and gave them the opportunity to go ahead. But they didn't move right away. It seemed like they were hesitant to go forward. They also weren't looking at me, so I couldn't make eye contact and gesture for them to go ahead. Anyway, after a few seconds, I was like, well, I guess you're not going, and I drove forward. And as I started to move, they started to move forward as well. But by that point, it was already too late. I was already going, and I wasn't going to stop again. They had missed their chance to get in. And yeah, technically I could have stopped again to let them in. But was it inconsiderate of me not to do so? No. Or, well, I don't think so. I gave them their opening and they didn't take it. And stopping once more would have inconvenienced me and the people behind me. So them not getting in wasn't on me. It was on them. But if you disagree, then please tell me off in the comments. I also had a few other variations of this situation happen recently too. In one, I had also come to a stop in traffic and saw that there was someone waiting to turn out from a side street. But they were really far back. They had a lot of space in front of them, but they hadn't moved up to approach the main street. It was almost like they weren't serious about or even ready to turn out. So when traffic started up again, I didn't even wait for them. I just went, and I didn't even give them the opportunity to get in. And I mean, if they had moved up and were ready to turn in when traffic started up, I would have happily let them in. But because they weren't ready for the opportunity, I just didn't give it to them. In another situation, I had just let someone else in, and the guy behind her tried to sneak in as well. I was a little annoyed by that, so I cut him off and thought to myself, no, you have to wait. Now, even though I've just told you about two recent cases where I didn't let someone go in front of me, I still think I'm a very considerate and courteous person. I will happily let you in if it's your turn, you deserve it, and you're ready to take it. I think most people are like this, and that's made me realize a few important things. Number one, people will be less likely to help you out when it inconveniences them. And number two, people will be less likely to help you out when you yourself are not ready. And it's not just on the road. It's in everyday life situations. Most people won't want to go too far out of their way to offer help or provide assistance the more inconvenient it gets for them. And this usually means a wasted opportunity. For example, let's say a friend of a friend is applying to a job at the company you work at, and you know the hiring manager pretty well, and you're also a considerate and courteous person, so you offer to look over their cover letter and resume to give them some tips. They gratefully accept and say they'll send it over soon. What a good insider opportunity this is for them. But then maybe you don't hear from them for 2 weeks. You're not sure where they're at, but it's not really on you to follow up and see what's going on. They're the one applying for the job, not you. But the job posting is closing tonight, and you have a friend's birthday party to go to. You're getting ready to leave for that when you finally see the email come in. They've attached their job application and ask if you can review and send it back to them within the next few hours. Now, would you still do this? Because I know I wouldn't. It would be a big inconvenience for me to help this person out now. And I don't think it's being inconsiderate if I now rescind my offer to help. They had 2 weeks to send this to me. And it's kind of ridiculous of them to expect me to drop everything last minute to help them out. So I would definitely be telling them, sorry, look, I would have been happy to help, but that window's closed now. The point is, there will be lots of times in your life where an opportunity presents itself. With someone's assistance, you can get somewhere you couldn't have on your own. You can turn onto the main road. You can get that job interview. You can be introduced to someone you want to get to know better. And in most cases, people will be happy to help you out or give you that opportunity if it's your turn and you show that you're ready for it. If you're moved up and waiting patiently at the front of the line, eventually someone will let you in. If you've done 99% of the work and just need someone to give that 1% to help you out, I'm sure most people would, especially if there's no real inconvenience to them. But if you don't make it convenient for them, people won't be willing to help you out. If you've only done 50% of the work, no one is happily going to take on that other 50%. Even the most considerate and courteous people aren't going to go that far out of their way for you. If you aren't moved up, if you're not ready for it, people won't give you those same opportunities. People won't let you in. At the end of the day, all opportunities are fleeting. And just like the person who I didn't let onto the main road solely because they hadn't moved up, sometimes you just won't get these opportunities because you clearly aren't ready for them. It's one thing to want something. It's another to want something and be ready for it. And if it's obvious that you are ready for something, opportunities will appear. And I think that's the key. The key to being given more opportunities. Moving up, showing that you're ready, doing 99% of the work, making it easy and convenient for someone to let you in. If you do all these things, the opportunities will come, and at that point, it's just a matter of jumping on them before the window to do so closes. Opportunities are fleeting, and so are the windows that you catch them through. So if there's something you want in life, make sure you're ready for it. Make it convenient for people to give you opportunities, and they will. Anyway, that's it for today. If this resonated with you or you found this insightful, your thumbs up is very much appreciated. Consider subscribing for more videos like this. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.